So Patrick, you went to high school near the Stanford campus, but where did you grow up?
Well, I actually grew up for the most part in Palo Alto. I was born in Los Gatos and lived with my family in San Jose for a few years, and actually moved up to Portland, Oregon area for a couple years, which is actually where I took the game up. So some time spent in Oregon as well, and then I moved back to Palo Alto when I was about 5 or 6, and went through elementary school out here. Went to high school at Menlo School right here in Atherton, and now I'm here, still close to home at Stanford.
Congratulations on your great win at Olympia Fields. What was the experience like for you?
It was about as good as I think a starting or my first college experience in competition could have been. I mean, I was happy with how I played to qualify to be there at the event. I was really excited to play a great golf course. Olympia Fields was host to the '03 U.S. Open, so I was obviously very excited to play my first college event on such a great venue, and had a great time with the guys, just traveling and finally being a part of Stanford golf. So I just really had a great time, and it was awesome to get that win and contribute to a team that was victorious our first time around this season.
Now, since you live near the campus, I wonder if you're a Stanford football fan.
Oh yeah, definitely. Love Stanford football.
You're going to be going to the game then Saturday night?
Oh yeah, I'm really excited. UCLA game. Definitely going to be going and cheering in the student section for the first time, so I'm excited about that.
Any surprises in your first weeks on campus?
Surprisingly, I was a bit shell-shocked about how little I knew the campus or internally. I mean, I've grown up around here and lived in Palo Alto, and yet I got to my first day of classes and had no idea where the heck I was going. So I actually got to some classes a little bit early and tried to find my way around. But I guess the biggest surprise was that I didn't know this place inside and out when I actually got into campus. So that was a fun experience.
So how's your dorm? How's the dorm room? And how's your roommate?
It's been good. I'm living in Flomo, which is in a good location. It's pretty centered, and got an all-freshman dorm, which is exciting, I think. It's a good experience to be around people in the same boat as you. So living there, and I'm in the Gavilan house, and my roommate's actually another local kid. He's from San Jose too, so we got along pretty quickly, and I'm really enjoying my experience there so far.
So you just started classes. Is there any class that you are particularly looking forward to, or one you're a little bit worried about?
Not particularly. I'm happy with my schedule. I'm taking 3 classes. I've got a Spanish class, an econ class, and my Intro to Humanities class. I guess the one I'm most excited about is probably my econ class. I've heard the professor's a great guy and seems like a really interesting class, and so I'm pretty excited about that one. Plus it's in a brand new auditorium that's really, really nice.
So what was your favorite sport growing up besides golf?
Besides golf, I was a baseball player early on. I played in the Little League around here and really enjoyed that. I played third base, and eventually the baseball swing and the golf swing stopped matching up. I couldn't really maintain my golf swing as well as I liked, so I kind of gave that up over the years. But I really enjoyed playing baseball. I played tennis a little bit in middle school, and I stopped playing in high school. But those were the 2 biggest sports I think I played growing up and I enjoyed besides golf.
So what hobbies or interests outside of golf do you have? Anything in particular?
I always have a tough time answering this question because I feel like I'm someone who's pretty well-rounded other than golf, but I really just enjoy spending time with my friends and just kind of hanging out during my free time. It's always nice, as a student athlete when you have some time away from either school or golf. So I just really enjoy taking it easy and going to the movies or hanging out with friends and just kind of finding enjoyable ways to lay back and hang out.
Now, how old were you when you first considered or thought about going to Stanford?
Oh man, that's a tough question to answer. I've been in love with Stanford ever since I've lived in the Bay Area. I mean, it's just a great school, a great place. The campus is amazing, and but I guess I can't even remember when I started to really love Stanford. So I guess that's an indication that started pretty early.
So who introduced you to golf, and at what age was that?
Well, I mentioned earlier we lived in Oregon, in Portland area, in specifically Lake Oswego, and my dad was the one that took me out for the first time. We went out to this local course over there called Langdon Farms, and it had a really nice driving range, and I just kind of took my dad's clubs and started hitting the ball around when I was about 3. So I was pretty early on. I think most of us on the team got started actually probably around that time in our lives, but I started pretty early and have been in love with it ever since.
Now, how old were you when you first broke 70?
I think I specifically remember in competition breaking 70 when I was 11, because I played in the Junior World Golf Championships at this place called Cottonwood Golf Club in San Diego, and I remember this specifically because the par for this course was 74, which was pretty funky. They made a lot of holes into par 5s out there, and I shot 5 under and shot 69. So
wow.
I think that on a regular full-length course, that was the first time I really ever broke 70.
And what's the lowest 18-hole score you've had?
I've had 64 and 65 a couple times, so those are my 2 lowest. My 64 in competition was at the CCS Championship my junior year of high school.
So what's the best pressure round you've ever played? What comes to mind?
I think I've been in the position of leading in a couple big national events going into the last day. I played in a national event in Mexico, actually, and I had the lead on a pretty tough golf course. And I think pressure is kind of when you're in the lead and people are kind of expecting certain things of you on that final round. So I was going in there with a couple shots leading, and there was some trouble out there on that course, and I managed my way around to about an even par round. So I was in tough conditions, so I was really happy with that, and I ended up getting the win by a few shots. So under pressure, I think that was probably one of the best rounds I've played.
Now, how many holes in one have you had, if any?
I've had 2. One at the 17th hole at Castlewood Country Club on the hill course, and then one out at Palo Alto Hills Country Club as well.
Who's your favorite golfer?
I gotta go with Tiger. I grew up in the Tiger era where he was in his, well, don't want to say his prime because that could still be coming, but you know, back in '01, that time frame when he won the Open by 15 shots. So I kind of grew up when I was really learning the game with Tiger at his best, so I've kind of loved his game and loved watching him ever since then.
And what's been the toughest golf course you've ever played?
We actually, when we were in Chicago at our first tournament, we played out at this course called Butler National, which I think in the right conditions, which we probably played in, that was one of the tougher courses I've ever played. That was really great. A lot of fun, and a tough course with a lot of trees and trouble and long rough and quick greens, so that could possibly be one of the toughest courses I've ever played.
So how would you describe your game?
My game, for the most part, I would say I try not to have any, or try to just eliminate any of my weaknesses. I mean, I think the strength of my game when I'm playing well is just overall I'll have a pretty steady round of golf. I think, you know, I just try to keep my short game really sharp, but I wouldn't say that there's any particular part of my game that really stands out compared to all the others. I just try to be as solid as I can in all the areas of the game.
So lastly, tell us something about you that only your family knows.
Well, I've got this really weird scar on my forehead that I got when I was 5 years old in an inner tubing accident with my family, and so some people in my family call it the Harry Potter scar because I got a gash right here on my forehead. But that's most of the time my hair covers it, so not too many people know about that one.
Very good. Thanks, Patrick, and again, congratulations on your great win
Thank you.
at Olympia
Thanks a lot.
Fields.
It's a pleasure.